I bet. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy AJ.
It's your boy Nick.
And this is Hip Hop Vibes, the podcast. Got another topic for y'all for this week.
Special topic.
Special topic.
Special topic.
You know, our opinions, of course, but another good topic. I got another panel of guests. So I'm gonna have y'all introduce yourselves. Well, our guest introduce herself.
We have one guest. I'm a co-host.
Oh, I can't introduce myself?
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could.
Of course.
What's good? This is your girl, Miss JLH, and I am the host / creator of We Don't Sip Tea, We Drink Wine podcast. I mean, is it still a podcast? Who knows? Anyway, I do have a website. You can go to We Don't Sip Tea, We Drink Wine.com. You can also check me out on social media. I laugh, I joke, I talk shit. I'm awesome. So you can follow me on We Drink Wine _ on IG, on TikTok. You can follow me on Miss JLH _ on IG and on Twitter. So, and last but not least, it's about to be Juneteenth, and all these businesses are selling stuff, especially Black-owned businesses, and a lot of times we hear Black people complain about Black-owned businesses having horrible customer service. But don't worry, I got y'all covered, because if you have bad customer service at your business, I have a great handbook for you. And you can just read it in a couple of minutes. It takes no time, and it's relatable. It's called the Black Ass Customer Service ebook for you dummies. You can check it out. I have some great tips in there.
That's actually hilarious.
That's straight being more legal right there.
I have some awesome customer service tips in there for you. Just how to treat your customers better, how to set the ambiance for your place of business, just how to treat the people that work for you, your employees, just how to set the tone to have the best customer service that you could have. That Chick-fil-A customer service. So check it out. It's on my website. You can buy it there. You can also buy it on Google. What is it? Google Books, Google Download Books, or whatever. Google Play, whatever it's called. Yeah, but yeah, I got you. Just hit me up if you want it. And that's it.
Okay, I see with the long intro.
Okay, last time. I wasn't prepared last time because the first caught me off guard because I was like, what I got? I ain't got nothing going on. I ain't doing stuff. But I be doing stuff, y'all.
Word. All right, Nick.
You want me to introduce myself?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Nick. Nick Neighbors. I'm a producer, hip hop producer. You can catch me on YouTube and Instagram, and also BeatStars. My handle on the screen right now is my IG handle, and yeah.
You're, and of course, I'm your boy AJ, other co-host of Hip Hop Vibes, the podcast. Let me get my tags ready.
Oh, we got a lot.
I got long ass tags. You can follow me on Twitter, Hip Hop Vibes, hip_hop_vibes, and also follow me on TikTok and on IG at A-Tone Productions, A_Tone_Productions. I post not random hip hop facts, but I post daily hip hop facts. For example, today's hip hop fact of the day: Wu-Tang Clan dropped their second studio album, Wu-Tang Forever, back in '97. That double album.
Oh shit.
97 was known for their double albums that year. Between Bone Thugs, Wu-Tang, Biggie, Pac dropped his shit last year, the year prior. Yeah. Also follow us on YouTube, Hip Hop Vibes, the podcast. You gotta type it in just like this so you can find it, just like it is on the screen. Otherwise, you're gonna find some other random shit. Oh yeah, and follow me on Twitch, War Machine 1919. We're streaming live right there right now, and on YouTube and on Facebook as well. And I believe that is it. Yeah, that's all my tags. I do. I have a lot of tags. I have a lot of pages.
Same. I hate it.
It's so hard trying to keep up with all them.
It is. It's a lot of work.
It's so annoying.
Schedule those releases.
Right.
That's what I gotta do. YouTube BeatStars, YouTube Shorts, regular YouTube.
Oh yeah. The YouTube Shorts.
All that shit.
I started doing YouTube Shorts. I had to stop because copyright issues with my facts.
I haven't done YouTube at all yet. I still haven't gotten on YouTube.
You haven't gone on YouTube at all?
No, because
people would love to see you on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, you definitely
get
gotta go
so
on YouTube.
You
many
know what?
fucking
I
subscribers.
think they would too. Maybe I should make a YouTube page instead.
Oh, absolutely, no question.
I just be talking mad shit on there.
Like a year
And
ago,
that
I didn't
shit
have a
was up.
YouTube really at all. A year ago, I barely had a YouTube, and then I got one going. Now I got like 300 subscribers. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cute.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
like-
that. That's awesome.
And you reach so many people on YouTube. There's like 2 billion people on YouTube. Like there's nothing as big as YouTube. So like you
Yeah, that's
definitely
fact.
want to get on that shit. 100%.
All right,
Do it.
yo.
Do it. Peer pressure. The art of peer pressure.
I
Do it.
hate it. I just hate all of this stuff right now. I just do, y'all. I just do. I don't know why.
She was talking about she hated everybody.
I do.
Even us.
She hate us. Her blow dryer.
Even us.
Sometimes.
I'm like, Jesus.
You feel me? Sometimes. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No, you
I
good.
love
You
y'all
are good.
though.
Nah,
Awesome.
she loves us now.
Low key.
Yeah,
Low
we
key.
know.
Give it a couple minutes.
Give it a couple minutes. Man. Wait till we have an opinion on one of her picks.
Oh
Right.
yeah, no, then y'all
that'll
be
just-
trash.
See?
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was so funny when you said, "Yeah, don't have an opinion on my picks." Have no
Oh,
opinion.
yeah.
I'm like what? Like on a show? Like how could
Like,
you
that's
not
the
have
whole
an
point.
opinion? That's the whole point. Exactly.
No, still don't have an opinion
No
today.
opinion. That's honest though. That's honest because a part of me is like that too. I don't want to hear any shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care
I'm an
about
artist
your
and I'm
opinions
sensitive
at all.
about my shit.
I am. I
No, I
am.
feel
really
you.
am.
That's all. I feel you.
Right. All right, Nick. Tell them about today's topic.
Today's topic, we're talking about our personal top 5 lists for albums, for hip hop albums.
Keyword are personal.
Personal.
And which is why you can't talk shit on mine. Yes, agree.
Yes. Exactly. So it's personal, it's opinion, not necessarily trying to say what are the top 5 most influential or what, you know what I mean? This is
Right.
just our favorite shit.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of both. What I thought about what impacted the culture and as well as me. But,
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I did a little bit of both. Yeah, a little
Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
think about no one
bit.
but
So
myself.
that's actually a good question. So how did y'all base y'all picks?
How did it impact me? And
Okay.
when, like, how did
Me
it,
too.
like,
Right.
what hip hop albums really affected me in life? Like, what did they, like, how did they motivate me or whatever? Like, what space was I in when I listened to it? Like, yeah, it's just the albums that I picked, I went through certain things in those time periods and I really needed those albums. So,
I feel
yeah.
that. Mine was kind of similar, but I also based mine based off like what I listen to the most, or albums that I just always go back to and listen like all the
That
way
too.
through type shit.
Same.
Because it's
same.
only a handful of albums that I can listen to all the way through.
all the way through.
without
Same.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say it's a handful, but it's more than a handful for me, but it's not a lot of hip hop albums I can listen all the way through.
I feel that.
So
True.
Wait, what? AJ, that's not true. You say you agree with that? I'm about to say.
No, I'm talking about in her case.
Oh,
in her
okay,
case.
yeah.
for me, yeah, for
I fucking
me,
hate hip hop. I'm the host of this
I'm gonna
show.
say
but
like,
fuck hip hop music, man.
right,
Fuck rap music.
right. It's like, but all right. With that being said, who wants to go first? Ladies first.
I'll go. I mean, yeah. Okay, with that look, I mean,
The-
yeah,
the-
look,
the way-
that-
right, the
that
way she-
smile
the way
right
she
there.
put- the way
I
she
didn't,
over like-
I didn't look like that. I wasn't okay.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
I didn't want to go first because just this y'all show. I don't want to be like that.
We're all
Guess- you
equals.
the guest, though.
We're all equals here.
Use the
Yeah.
guess.
All right, so this isn't in a particular order. This is just my
Yeah.
So I have
Just start one at a time. You don't have to go like through the whole list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do one at a time.
okay. So Chicken and Bear by Ludacris is on my list. I love that album so much. I listened to it in high school. It was one of my first hip hop albums that I bought. I just start to finish. That's like a hands down one of my favorite albums. I loved it. It was just a good album. I just loved it. I don't know. I did. It's really nothing to it. It's not like one of his great, because it's not one of his greatest albums. It's not like that at all. It's like, but it is a good album. Like, it's a really good start to finish album. It has a nice flow to it, and Ludacris was just like fun back in the day. That's how I felt about it. It was a fun, good album.
Let these hoes in my room.
Who let these hoes? Did you let them in? I ain't gonna lie, I listened to that song the other day, bro. Like that shit is still hilarious, bro. Like for real.
That was so fun.
That album was fire. Ludacris did his thing on that joint too, for real.
He did. He did everything
really did.
well. He was everything back then. So.
He really was.
My next favorite album is Fabulous Real Talk. So one of my ex during high school.
That's the one that had Brie on. Okay.
But my ex in high school was a real big Fabulous fan, so that's really what made me get this album. And then I just fell in love with it, and I was like listening to it every single day, like I was on some shit. So yeah, that was my album. I was a really big Fabulous fan back in high school, so I loved it. And that's also a great album to me.
I respect that.
My next favorite album is Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar. I just love Kendrick, for one. There's nothing he can do wrong. But I just really love this album because, I don't know, I like the, first of all, it gave me West Coast vibes. I grew up listening to West Coast rap. Only pretty much, and so he gave a lot of West Coast vibes on this album. He also gave like a lot of jazz influence, so it's like you kind of knew where he was gonna go on his next album, but you didn't know where he was gonna go because I mean, he gave you this album. So to give us To Pimp a Butterfly was just like, okay, the influence was there, the hints were there. I see you. So I just love this album. It gave me the best of my both worlds, hip hop and R&B. You know,
I can respect that.
I
don't want you to give away the whole list yet.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know. Okay, I thought we was going all the whole
It's all
list.
good.
My bad. Okay, yeah, I'm done. My bad.
Yeah, for right now. Just like, I mean, we're gonna go through the whole list just like at a time type joint.
Yeah, keep the suspense going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, it's all good.
I got hype. I did.
As you should.
You're right.
Right.
Okay.
I'll
You
go.
go ahead. You go ahead. Right, yeah. No, you go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go in order, but I'll just
go order.
Yeah. So, man, 90s
Like I
rap.
said, I already know what you know. Now,
You know. It's right behind me. You can see right there.
Right.
Right there. I'm getting in the way, but Nas-O-Matic.
Boom.
Man, I fell in love with 90s rap in like the mid 2000s, actually. Not even like during the 90s. In this album, I mean, just the beats, the vibe of it was just like, it was just, the whole album felt nostalgic. It felt organic. It felt raw, jazzy, soulful beats. And Nas, he's 20 years old rapping like that. It was fucking crazy. You think he was like 30. You know what I mean? Like they called him the new Rakim, and the way he rapped, there was so much he was saying. In one verse, he would say more, like even just in his flow, he would say, there'd be a lot of words, but he would like say so much shit, some gangster shit, some philosophical shit, some gangster shit, some philosophical shit. It'd be always like, there's so much depth in this album. It's fucking amazing. And then also, my mother's from Queens originally, and we used to always go back in the summertime, to my mother's old neighborhood in South Ozone, and bump this shit. And so it gives me this like nostalgic vibe for me too, even now. So that yeah, it's got to be my favorite. Got to be my favorite. Waste no tracks. It's like 30. It's like 38 minutes. Waste no time.
Yeah.
Just straight to it. You know exactly what you're gonna get from it every time. Consistent. Not like all Nas albums. This was like so. And this one is just special, man.
And this one's kind of like he did like it was like quality over quantity because like you said, it's only 10 tracks.
100%.
And he's rapping on 9 of them because the first one was just a straight up intro.
100%. One guest feature. You know what I mean? One guest feature. But and I would say executive produced. I don't want to talk too much on one album, but I mean I could talk on this one probably for like 3 episodes. But this album in particular, shout out MC Search, White MC actually, who executive produces when Nas was like really raw. He was like 18 or like 19 years old. He got him in there and then got him in the studio with all the perfect producers to make him shine. He had Pete Rock, Q-Tip. This album made me want to be a producer too. I'm a producer. And beats have always spoken to me more than the lyrics. It's always been that way. And so when I hear a track like Memory Lane, DJ Premier, with the samples, like I fell in love with that. DJ Premier, Large Professor, Pete Rock, Q-Tip. Like I mean, it's a crazy lineup. Crazy lineup. Like Renaissance producer team hops on this album with this like young, really dope rapper. I mean, it's a special album, man. It's got to be one of the best debut albums of any artist. Period. Yeah, man. I'll stop there.
Cool. You can go to the next one.
All right, the next one.
Do the next
I'll do Blueprint. I'll do Jay-Z Blueprint. Probably my number 1 and 2 favorite MCs, and I can't say which one I like more. Probably Nas, but yeah, Blueprint. I mean, I would say Jay-Z is the best beat picker of all time. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that. His musical ear, like, you know, Jay-Z loves music, and I've read his books. I've listened to a lot of interviews. He listens to all kinds of music, and his production team, like, this is a fucking masterclass on how to produce, like, just period. And then the fact that he recorded all his verses in 2 weeks, like, it's just crazy.
Did he really?
Like, yeah, he did it all in 2 weeks. Because Hove is like, he is so fucking smart. Like, he would literally be in boardrooms. You know, he's in boardrooms pushing Rockaware, doing all this shit. And we're gonna talk. Hey, yeah, we're gonna talk on Reasonable Doubt. That's my honorable mentions. I'm glad. Thank you, bro, for mentioning that. Thank you. Okay. Because Blueprint for me. But we'll talk on. I want to talk on Reasonable Doubt right now. Blueprint. I'll say Blueprint. The reason why I chose that one, for me, I feel like that's Jay-Z at his prime, at his peak, and Reasonable Doubt is an amazing piece of work. But in terms of cultural, this is where I went into the cultural significance part. I'm like, this is Jay-Z at his peak. It was a huge effects on culture. This album dropped the day of 9/11 and still pushed 400,000 albums in 1 week. So let that just speak for the level of just absolute influence he has. I mean, it's just an amazing record. It flows perfectly. Just Blaze, Kanye, Timbaland, you got everybody on there. It's fucking crazy. So that one, definitely, I can listen to it now, and it ages well too. It sounds good even now.
That's classic. It's definitely still a classic for sure. Bet. All right, what you got for your third one?
My third one, I think I want to mention third. I'm gonna do we talk about Kendrick a lot. I'm gonna do Pimp a Butterfly. This one, not necessarily. This one, I'll be honest, I probably haven't listened. I haven't listened to it as much as Illmatic. Definitely not. Probably not even Blueprint. But this one, like, this is to me Kendrick at the peak of his powers. Like, for me, this shit, like, if you just listen to this album, the amount of shit that he talks about and the amount of the number of the genres of music that he goes through. He opens with like a fucking jazz, like he's rapping over a jazz like beat. I mean, just the amount of the scope and musicality and also his lyrical content is fucking insane. You end with a fucking interview with Tupac. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Like, this is one of the best hip hop albums I've ever heard by far. I listened to it like 5 years after it came out. Felt the exact same way about it. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. No, it is not trying to be the commercial fucking song for everybody to play. It's not trying to be that. But it's got to be one of the deepest rap records that I've ever listened to. I mean, pieces of music in general. Just fucking perfect, man.
Facts. No, that's real.
Yeah, that's my toes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, no,
So
I think I
have
said
a
last
confession. I didn't listen to Illmatic until like maybe 5 years ago for the first time. I didn't really like it like that.
Oh damn, she lost connection.
No,
damn, she lost connection. That's wild. Oh, Jasmine, like, you good? You good?
Oh, did you do that on purpose?
I thought you were safe.
I'm fucking with
cool,
you.
Steve.
I just had to fuck with you one good time.
That's cool. You can have an opinion about my shit. I'm not good. I don't get upset about that.
Right.
You can say that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get upset.
See, look. See the double standards? God.
Double standards.
The double standards.
Yeah, I don't play fair at all.
Dang.
But
I'm curious, what were you not fucking with about it? Like,
I don't know. I just don't think it was like an album for me. I don't know.
Was it too old? Was it too old school?
No.
Was it too raw?
Maybe. Yeah, the content, maybe it was that. Maybe I just wasn't in that space at the time. I need to run it back. I listened to it once. So, I can't really say that. But I wasn't really fucking with it at that time.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
No, I'm joking.
You're right. You're right. No, absolutely. I actually agree. Because I don't think you should listen to an album once and then just base your opinion on it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm joking, but what I'm trying to say is, I feel like you listen to it a couple times.
Yeah, I gotta run it back.
Feel for it.
Yeah.
But you did. I did like your list. Your list was cute. It was cute.
I'm weak. All right. So for my first pick, going to Ludacris. Word of mouth.
Hey,
wow.
Word of mouth.
Now this was on my top 5 in terms of influencing me. I'll probably say. I remember when I got this shit. My brother got this shit. I stole it from him. This shit.
So the reason I picked this is kind of similar to what Jasmine had said. Like this was the first CD I've ever bought, ever owned, like ever in life. Like it's the first joint I ever had. Granted, it was the clean version, but I played that shit till the wheels fall off, bro. Like that shit's all scratched up. And this is really when I started getting into hip hop, and like Ludacris was one of the first like artists. Like he was popping. This was like 01, 02. So Ludacris was hot by that time. He was super hot at that time. Mm-hmm. Granted, he was kind of overshadowed by like the Nas's and Jay-Z, Eminem, Nelly, 50 Cent when he eventually came out like commercially. So yeah, and I just love the album. I played this album till the wheels fall off. I'll go back and listen to this joint like all the time. And then like
do you think he's an underrated artist?
I think he's underappreciated. Like I think he was just overshadowed.
Yeah.
Cause like I said, like at that time, like you said, yeah, prime Jay-Z, like Blueprint came out, so that's prime Jay-Z. And that was in the middle of the whole Nas Jay-Z beef.
That's true.
Then Eminem was Eminem was popping with
Nelly.
Nelly with Nellyville and Country Grammar.
Country Grammar.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
So he was just overshadowed by everybody else. But he still did his thing. He still held his own.
Oh, he definitely held it down.
Definitely held his own, right.
Definitely.
Especially for the South.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this album didn't pop as. You're right. It did come out around that time.
Yeah.
I forget about this album, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
How you forget about Move?
I
Bitch?
don't know.
To me, this is his most like definitive work. I'll be honest. I think
It's
Really?
arguably his best. It's arguably his best album.
move, bitch, roll out, all that shit. I remember
Oh.
Saturday,
I'm up
area
in
codes.
Boston. Like that
Yeah,
shit was
that's
went
true,
all the
that's
way up
true.
north. That shit was reaching us up
That's
north too.
true.
Like, that was
Got
everywhere.
hoes.
Wasn't just down south. That was
That's
everywhere.
true. That's
Right.
true.
Everywhere.
Oh, he did hold his own. Good for Luda. I love
Right.
him.
It's arguably his best album. That and Chicken and Beer. You can argue those two.
Yeah.
being his best
Literally
albums.
love
Really?
chicken and beer.
Oh, Chicken and Beer was fire too. Chicken and Beer was that shit.
I just love it.
But I had,
Oh,
but I had to pick
AJ
one.
though, I want to ask you though. You said he's not underrated, but he's underappreciated. What's the difference?
Like underrated being is like he's not acknowledged. I feel like Ludacris is acknowledged in the game. It's just that, like I said, he was overshadowed by like all the other juggernauts in the game. Cause like he was still new at that time. Like Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem were already established. Nelly was new, but Nelly had that little crossover. He had the crossover music
Crossover, yeah.
with country and rap. So that's why
And
his
pop,
shit was, and
pretty
pop.
much,
That's why his shit
because-
went diamond.
Yeah, Ludacris was straight hip hop.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, I just feel like he was underappreciated just because he just got overshadowed by everybody else.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So you're saying he was acknowledged, so people rate him, but
Yeah,
in terms of in terms of sales, in terms of like, fans or whatever. I don't know. For me, I guess I just felt like though I don't think he got as overshadowed for me personally
Okay.
because I felt like he was bringing something different than
Adrian?
all those artists we just listed.
Adrian?
What's
Like,
Adrian?
what are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. I thought I was on mute. My bad. I'm
Lord.
wild. Go on.
You talking to
Lord.
yourself?
Because I thought she said
my
AJ. I'm like, why you keep calling my name?
Yeah, I'm about to say it's getting weird.
I
Like,
was
I was
so
like,
confused.
am I in a different room or something?
I'm so sorry, y'all.
That's all good. I guess I mean actually I agree with you, AJ, in the sense that there were a lot of other bigger artists at the time, but I guess just to give him even more respect, give him even more flowers. For me, none of those artists were doing what he was doing. I felt like Ludacris was so fucking original. I felt like he was so original, and nobody else was giving the same energy. Like, yeah, he really stood out to me. Maybe he didn't for other people, but for me,
Yeah.
absolutely, like he stood out. Just the whole persona, just the humor, like everything. It was very, very colorful. I would say that's what I would say. It was great.
I feel that.
It's just hilarious. His music is funny
Yeah.
as shit.
He is funny as hell.
It's funny as fuck.
His song's funny as shit. But it's like,
Skit,
like
everything.
Amazing.
it's like he can be funny, but he can be serious at the same time. He can still
Yeah.
show you that lyrical
And he
shit,
can
his
rap
flow and all that
too.
shit. Exactly.
He's actually
Right.
a great rapper. He's actually got a great voice. He's good flows.
Especially when you get to like his later albums, like he really shows off his hip hop, like his lyricism. Especially with Theory of the Mind. We talked about that
Theory
like
of
a
the
couple
Mind,
episodes
yeah.
ago.
That was underrated for sure.
As hell.
I never listened to
I
it.
was
My man
check
was on
it
track with Jay-Z and Nas.
I'll check it out.
and he didn't seem out of place at
Oh,
all.
That's-
that's what's the shit? Made You Look remix with him, Nas, and Jadakiss. He held his own.
yeah.
Oh, low-key,
I don't
look-
even remember that song.
Low key,
so I gotta
Ludacris had the
listen
best
to it.
verse in my opinion. Ludacris had the best
I
verse.
gotta
I can see
listen to
that.
that
I can see
again.
that. I can see that.
You know, never mind. I'm not even gonna say nothing else.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Say it. Say it.
No,
Say it.
no,
Say it.
no,
Uh-oh.
Say
no.
it. Who?
I'm not really a Nas fan.
That's all good.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
why would
Oh,
you
you're
get
like,
so-
Because people,
Good, no.
it's like a thing. It's like a thing.
You'd be like, get
But I'm
out.
not. Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, you think like
I know
yeah.
what he means to the culture. I don't take that away from him. I do like Nas, but I'm not like really like a fan.
I respect that.
I expect that. Look at
I
you.
respect that, man. I know what you mean though. Like there's certain like people who are just larger than life and culturally like such a big deal. Like people feel like you have to like them. Like, how do you
them,
not?
yeah.
Right.
Like,
You know, it's like you
yeah.
just don't like it. I just don't like
Right.
like a
You don't-
food. Like I don't really like eating that. I don't eat that. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
why is that a problem? Like
yeah,
that's not a problem.
yeah.
That's all. Good.
Definitely took Jay-Z's side for sure. So that's
Okay.
Yeah. You was like, okay. Yeah.
I did like Takeover better though, but personally,
Hmm.
of course he won with Super Ugly. Super Ugly was just disrespectful.
I never listened to it. I didn't care about the beef.
You should.
I wasn't
that shit was
into stuff
hilarious.
like that.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I
Right.
missed all of that.
But nah, my next album is probably my favorite album of all time,
Uh-oh.
personally. The Chronic.
Chronic.
Dr. Dre's
Oh wow,
The Chronic.
you took
Yes.
that.
Really?
Back.
I know,
probably,
really.
That's probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
I
like,
know.
real
That's
shit.
how I feel. Really.
I just felt like the beats were weak. I mean,
This nigga.
beats.
Like, oh no, what happened to Nick?
Oh my god! Damn!
So,
I
nah,
didn't
but nah.
mean it. I didn't mean it.
But nah, y'all know me. Y'all know I'm a huge fan of West Coast music.
Me too.
And like growing up, I listened to a lot of funk music growing up, like the Parliament and all them shit. Like growing up as a kid, so like the Chronic was literally just that. Like it was like G Funk. Yeah, that was like the peak of G Funk in my opinion. Between that and Doggy Style,
I
which we're
agree.
gonna talk about
Yes.
later on. Which we're gonna talk about in a little bit. But between that and Doggy Style, like that was like the prime of like the peak of like G Funk. And like I could play this is one of the few albums I could actually play from top to bottom, no skipping whatsoever.
Really?
Yes, all
Wow.
the way through
Okay.
from fucking like Let Me Ride, Nothing But G Thing, These Nuts, Bitches Ain't Shit. What's the other joint? There's so many tracks on that joint.
Little
bro.
ghetto boy.
Little Ghetto Boy, High Powered,
Yeah,
Lyrical Gangbang. It was just like so many like bangers on that shit. And also, what I like about this is like, even though it's a Dr. Dre album, it was kind of like a pre Snoop Dogg debut, because Snoop Dogg was all over that album. And then by the time Doggy Style came out, it was a wrap for him. Like he
Yeah.
was the shit. He was the shit at that point.
Yeah.
And
I
like
can agree with that.
and plus Dr. Dre is like my favorite producer just because he's just so like he's a perfectionist with his shit. So like he makes sure everything is like just right. That's why you don't have Detox because like
Yeah.
that's why
He's mixing a snare right now. He's like
Right.
turning a dial and shit.
we've been waiting for Detox for almost 2 decades now.
Y'all never gonna get it.
We're never gonna get it.
It's
Nah, it ain't gonna
never
happen.
coming.
It's not. So heartbreaking.
Yeah, I want to share my opinion on that shit too, bro.
Well,
That
on Chronic?
I would
On
say
Chronic?
Chronic, yeah.
Yeah,
In
go
terms
ahead.
of production, from a producer standpoint, it has to have one of the most memorable and cohesive and musically rich production of any hip hop album. Period. Like the what he does, Dr. Dre is like the head of the orchestra. You know what I mean? He's like conducting that shit.
Yeah.
Like he is just running that shit. And what I love about it is, like you said about Snoop, the way Dr. Dre approaches music, he's like, let me get the dopest people in the room and let them do their thing. It's almost like it's like you're unselfish. It's like if Snoop sounds better, put him on that shit. And bringing all these different people together, let the music speak. Let's make the best music we can. And as a producer who's done that with artists, that's what I aspire to be every day. So
Yeah.
that shit.
I feel like that's
Yeah.
how it should be done.
Let Me
So,
Ride, probably the best. It's one of the best hip hop beats.
Yes.
Of
That's
all
probably my
time.
favorite. That's probably
No
my favorite
fucking-
Dr. Dre song.
No,
For sure.
one of the best hip hop songs, but also to me, it's gotta be like top 3 best beats for me.
Fast. And also what I like about Dr. Dre's album is just like it's not just about him. Like
No,
he focuses
That's what
on
I'm saying.
everybody. Like everybody on Death Row was on that joint. Daz, Corrupt, Warren G, Nate Dogg, DLC, even though at that point he lost his voice. So DLC was doing like mad writing for the shit between him and Snoop. And of course Snoop was on there, RBX,
There you go.
Jewel,
Yep.
Dang, who else was this? It was like he just had everybody on that shit. You know?
So many people, bro.
So many people on that shit. And then speaking of Dr. Dre, the third album I'm going to pick, The Chronic 2001. Like Chronic Part 2, basically.
Oh, wow. I didn't see any of these choices coming from you.
Really?
What?
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
What you thought I was going to pick?
I don't know.
Like some newer shit?
No. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. But I definitely didn't expect this album. I expected The Chronic. I definitely didn't expect Ludacris. But I definitely didn't expect
Ludacris was more like nostalgia. Like I said, that was the first CD I ever bought.
Yeah.
Ever owned. So it was more nostalgia. But I still
sure
love that
did not expect this one.
album.
For sure.
See, I gotta keep them guessing. I gotta keep everybody guessing.
Knicks was easy. I don't know why. No, I'm not saying that they were easy, but just producer wise, his mindset. I think to me, even though he said he went culture wise, it felt more producer mindset for me. But okay, culture. Go for it.
But nah, like pretty much the same reason why I picked The Chronic. Like at this point, just like post G Funk, but it's still G Funk. It's like a just new modern version of G Funk.
Yeah.
He had mad like rappers on the joint. Of course, by this time he's not with Death Row anymore. He's Aftermath and Interscope. But of course, he had Snoop on there. He just signed Eminem, so Eminem's on there. Exhibit, Corrupt, Nocturnal, Hitman, who was supposed to be like the Snoop of this album, but unfortunately he didn't like catch wind. Who else is on here? Of course, Nigga Dog. He had mad people on the joint, like more underground artists on the joint too, for real. Of course, like they got the singles, Still Dre. Next episode, Forget About Dre. Next episode is probably my favorite track, honestly. Or my favorite single. I'll say my favorite single. My favorite track, my favorite
Forget
track.
About Dre is probably mine.
I fuck with that.
Still Dre.
So we all pick the singles.
Yeah.
Right. But it's just so much tracks in there like that. Those
I
singles.
my mom, even though she did love, so we had the albums. We weren't allowed to listen to the albums because they were so raunchy. And so, like, we could only listen to certain songs, of course, that we recognized or whatever. But yeah, it was a mess. Anyway.
Yeah. West Coast music was very misogynistic. Very misogynistic.
But that's all we listened to, so it doesn't make sense.
It was very misogynistic, but hey, the beast was fine.
They took it to another level on that shit, dog.
They did, bro. They really did, especially on this one. Especially with songs that explosive, like
they was definitely
especially that one. I love that beat, but yeah, even then, like when I first listened to it, I caught on to it late, and I was into a lot of like conscious rappers. I was like, damn, this shit, whoa, like shit. And of course, the beat from a beat's perspective, it's fucking crazy. I actually bumped, to be honest, the instrumental album. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's just so. I like how he took the G-Funk sound and he sort of made it more. It's a lot more piano heavy. There's a lot more live, like some live percussion and drums.
And shout out to Scott Storch for that too.
Oh yeah, I was just about to get there. That piano line. I mean, who doesn't remember that shit? And yes, on Still Dre, that is Scott Storch, and he's actually the fucking reason why I thought I could be a producer in the first place. So Scott, shout out to him. Yeah, man. I mean, it just, and again, there you go. Like Dr. Dre he knows music and he knows how to get the right person. He just gets the right person. He finds the right samples. You know what I mean? Next episode, like go look up the sample for that. Shit. It's like the sample's like right there. I mean, he just took it and was like, "This is perfect." Just like Kanye in his prime. He was like, "This is perfect. Put it right here." Boom, and it's a fucking hit. And to this day, that song is timeless. You can play that shit in 50 years. That shit will be. You know what I mean? People that don't even know about Crip Walking start Crip Walking when you hear that shit. Like it's just like it's a cultural phenomenon, bro. Like, you couldn't escape that. You could not escape that when that shit was out.
I think my favorite beat, Housewife. Remember the beat for Housewife
I
with the
do-
little whistle
yeah.
soon?
I was about to say the little guitar, little line. Yeah. The Housewife, Explosive, Next Episode, Still Dre, my top 4 beats on that album. Those are my top 4 right there. I always loved Explosive, and I always remember when Kanye, kind of an interview with Kanye, he talked about biting those drums on "Can't Be Life," and I remember I went back to it. I was like, "Oh yeah, he did bite those drums," but of course that guitar line's fucking crazy. That little guitar line right there. And Erykah Badu actually
used the exact same beat,
the same joint, but it was like, wow, this is totally different. Like this is some different shit. But yeah, I guess for me, the one critical thing for me, lyrically, it was just like it was a little too much for me. I was like, damn, this shit's fucking raw as shit.
Yeah, it was raw.
That's why it's not on my favorite list. But
it was West Coast shit. It was
that's just me personally. I respect that. I respect your choice.
Hell yeah. But if I had to pick my top 5 favorite songs, Next Episode, Housewife.
They're funny as shit, though. I'm just remembering the lyrics are funny as shit.
Right. Oh, fuck you. That's the song. The song "Fuck You." The song "Fuck You" with Devin the Dude on there. They had Devin the Dude on there. Like, what's the other two? Some LA niggas, and damn, it was just so many good beats on there. It's between Bang Bang and Bitch Niggas, probably. Like I said, it's raunchy ass shit. So
yeah, don't be sensitive putting that in.
Right.
Don't be sensitive playing that shit.
My kids, when I grow up, my kids like, can I listen to this? Oh, you can listen to the instrumental version. You can listen to this one.
Yeah, right. Nope. From the instrumental version.
Wait till you get to high school.
Finally chill.
I'm like, you finally done?
Yes. I'm so sorry, y'all. Not to interrupt the flow of the conversation, but I did start a new job, and it's like the schedules is crazy. And so I've been working late every day, and I've just been like overscheduling myself. So I apologize.
All good.
Yeah, and my best friend got surgery on her arm, so I'm trying to be a great best friend and help her out and wash her hair. So that's me. That. Yeah. Anyway, I'm back. Great choices, great picks.
Perfect, because it's your turn.
Oh, wow. Okay. Here we go. My next pick is also Jay-Z's The Blueprint.
I forgot you did pick that. Yeah.
Yes.
Anything you'd like to add?
That album. So, okay. This is why that album. I'm sorry, y'all got bugs in my house and it's bothering me. Because my mom leaves my window open. And it's like, why? Why would you do that? But, so I love this album because, okay, y'all gonna judge me. So, wait. There's several reasons why I love this album. For one, it was influential to all of us at that age. Come on. For two, there was this guy, right? In ninth grade. There was this guy.
I knew it.
Here we go.
I just I loved him so much. So this kid in ninth grade, he looked like Jay-Z a little bit. And
I'm dead.
He the first time I heard some shit like this, though.
Right.
He used to write me poems. So I just kind of fell in love with Jay-Z even more and became a big fan of Jay-Z out of nowhere. And then this album came out and I was like, oh my God, I love him. And then my mom bought the album and I was like, oh my God, yes. And then I was just listening to it every day. Renegade's my favorite song on the album. So.
That's hard.
Renegade was fire.
Yeah, that's
Heart of the City.
That's me.
My Heart of the City song, Cry, intro.
It's a great album, hands down. One of his best albums to me.
I don't really like it that much, though, to be honest.
Then you put it on one of your. I was like, Nick trying to copy me. What's up with that? Like, oh, copycat.
It's trash, man. That album's trash.
Be your own person. Don't be liking my stuff. But yeah, that was it.
All right, Nick.
I'm trying to remember that shit. I feel like I talked about this album recently, but I'll do it again. Like Water for Chocolate, Common. Man.
Yeah.
Oh. And like I said I said this on a previous show. Soulquarians, probably my favorite like super group of musicians. And in was it 98 through 2000, you had D'Angelo Voodoo, you had Common Like Water for Chocolate, you had Erykah Badu Mama's Gun, and you had Things Fall Apart, The Roots, and then you had this album by Common. You had them all, they were all like in sessions together making music. This one, it used to be B that was my favorite Common album, and Common's one of my favorite rappers, probably my number 3. I love Common. Yeah, I just love that dude, man. Cause for me, growing up to the music, that gangster shit that I grew up listening to, when I heard this shit, I was like, oh, I like this. It's like a different vibe. He's like a little more thoughtful with what he's saying. He's got some, he's got some more, social issues and stuff like that. He's talking about a lot of different things. And I just love that. Like he was a deep thinker, like me, and just the way he broke things down, talking about all kinds of different things on the album. Of course, you see the cover. But it's just a fantastic piece of work. Musically, it's fantastic. It flows from beginning to end. Common doesn't get in the way too much. I'll admit, Common is not the most charismatic rapper. Like, you compare him to like totally different artists, but we talk about Ludacris. Different levels of charisma. Like, Common is more laid back and shit. What I like about this album, what he does really well, is he lets the music speak. And he's got Questlove on the fucking drums, D'Angelo on the keys, fucking Jay Dilla chopping everything up. Like, you can't really go wrong with that like lineup. Like, that's my fucking dream team right there. So yeah, this shit. And to this day, I played this shit last week. It sounds like it sounds like it could have came out recently. It's just classic, timeless type shit. Timeless shit. So yeah, man, I love this album. That's
beautiful. I love it.
You hit him with the
I love this album.
I love this album.
I
That's how you know an album fired.
Yeah.
You can't even say that.
I love this album. I was only laughing because I don't know if y'all have ever watched this show called Woke on Hulu. Have you ever seen it? Oh, anyway, well, this guy named Keith Knight, he writes it, and he did an episode where he had to give a new speech, and he couldn't think of anything to say. It had to be something, of course, positive. But he was going to read one of his old speeches, but then they started playing his old speech, and he was like, shit, what am I do? And his friend was like, yo, be like Common. And he was like, what? He was like, yeah, just say a bunch of stuff that sounds good and makes sense and just make it flow, sound poetic. Just be Common.
I'm dead.
He said,
That's funny.
right. And he just started sounding like Common on that stage. He's like, and then we free at last. CD so far from the space, but we here together forever as one. Yo, it was wild. It was so good though.
That's funny as shit.
Yeah. But sorry, yeah, that's why I laughed. My bad. It just made me think of that.
All right. You actually might be shocked at this next pick.
Okay.
That's some of my favorite albums. Number 4. Get Rich or Die Trying.
I'm really shocked. I am. What?
I'm not.
Why?
I'm not shocked. I'm not like. I guess I wouldn't have guessed it though.
50 Cent. I did not like 50 Cent. Nothing about him.
That's fine. I love this album. This album was fire though. You can't deny this album was fire.
I didn't like it personally. I just not a 50 Cent fan. I can't listen to his music.
You weren't a fan because there was nobody you were crushing on that.
Right.
I'm dead.
Like, nobody looked like 50
because
Cent.
2 of your albums are because of like dudes. He said the Fab album.
Yes, because those changed my life. Like those are my albums. Those are life changing for me. Those are life changing love.
Those relationships were life changing. Right.
Yes,
right.
because they go to my heart. And then
I'm like, none of your questions got shot 9 times.
Don't hate on my picks, Nick, because of why I picked my picks. You're a hater. Okay, why, AJ?
All right. Like I said in the beginning, like there's only a handful of albums that I can listen to all the way through with no skipping. This is another one of those albums that I can play all the way through without skipping. But of course, Dr. Dre was like the exclusive, was the executive producer, so you know the production was going to be perfect, damn near perfect. And then of course, like other than like Junior, he had Eminem features. Who else was featured on there? Nate Dogg. It wasn't really that many features for other than like Junior Camp. But like of course, the top single in the club, 21 Questions, PIMP, and Many Men. Like all the singles just were fired. Heat, and then Wanksta, and then what else songs I like? Poor Little Rich Nigga, Like My Style, Patiently Waiting, You're Not Like Me, Life's, all them shit was just fire to me, personally. Like I said, it's one of the few albums I can listen to all the way through.
That's rare, man.
And this is also, again, exactly. And this is also around the time when I was really starting to get into hip hop. And then again, like this is when 50 Cent started popping. Like after like Jay-Z retired and Nelly fell off.
Me too.
Nas kind of fell off at that point. Everybody was falling off at that point. So 50 Cent was like the next big thing.
Yeah, that's true. He was. G-Unit did run it for a bit.
Yeah, they were running shit for a good little minute.
Yeah, they did. And Murder Inc. at the same time.
Not at the same time, but
they was at the same time.
One of them killed the other one, yo.
Nah.
I mean, but they was a little bit, wasn't they? Or Murder Inc. was out first and then came.
Murder Inc. was out by that time. I mean, Ja Rule had a little bit of a comeback in 04, like 04, 05, but
50 Cent's 04, 05.
Yeah, exactly. 50 Cent's 04, 05. That's when he came out with New York. That's when he came out with New York.
Oh, that's that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Because I'm still thinking like,
you thinking like the early 2000s, like when he's doing the shit with Ashanti and J-Lo.
It just all just runs so fast together. Yeah, I am. My bad. Never mind.
I'm from New York.
New York.
I hated that song. I didn't hate it, but I mean.
So you just don't like New York?
I do love
other than Jay-Z.
I love New York. I love New York with a passion. But I just didn't like that song. I didn't think that song was that good. It was all right.
Where you live in New York now, or where you live?
Why you in my business, Nick?
Because you said you're from Baltimore or something?
I am from Baltimore.
Okay, but you live in Brooklyn, right?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. I'm not going to leak it. Okay, I'm not going to leak it. Listen, I wasn't trying to get you in trouble. I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
No, I just, I'm laying low. I don't want people to know where I am.
I respect that.
Yeah. Niggas like to come over. I don't want nobody over.
So that's what it was in the background earlier. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Please. Please. I wish. But no, I'm good. I live places.
I live places. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah. Okay, who next?
You.
Me? Again?
You.
Oh. Yeah. This is my last one, right?
Yeah. Before we get to honorable mentions.
Oh, I don't even remember what my last pick was. I think thought it was College Dropout. Right?
Is it?
Is it?
Is that yours or mine?
Oh wow.
That's
Well,
mine.
I
Oh
know
my
it's
god!
on
Look,
my
we
list.
agree.
I can't
We
remember if
agree
I put
on
it
this. Is
on my top
weird.
five. I can't believe if I put it on my top five or if I made it my honorable mention because I knew there was like something else that I really loved.
You did just switch something out. Hold on.
I just don't remember the list. I'm sorry, I didn't write it down anymore.
No, that's all right.
Because I wrote it to you, AJ, and I just thought.
Oh
you
yeah,
had-
yeah. Oh okay. Now I got the list right here.
What did it say?
It's this one right here. This is the last one. Boom. That was your last pick.
Oh yes! Damn, why I do that? That's wild. I can't believe that's definitely my number one. So this isn't about a nigga at all. This is just like I
This is just
really
pop.
fucking love this album. Like, this album. Like,
AJ's happy right now. AJ's
ooh,
happy
I just love this album. It's just everything. It's just production wise. It's from start to finish. It's a good flow. I mean, the features, the sound, like, come on.
Mad
The
features.
West Coast music, just the way that they just go back and pass and use different sounds from our, the music that our family, our our parents grew up with. It's just, I love this fucking album. And then it makes me feel like I'm a motherfucking, like, okay, I will
Feel
shoot
like a thug.
everybody in here. You feel me? Like, come with me. First of all, Hail Mary is my shit. And that's my favorite Tupac song of
First
all
off,
time.
not on the album, but continue.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, I do love this album. But that's my favorite Tupac song.
Hail Mary?
Yes.
I fuck with that.
Yeah. That's on the one before, ain't it?
After.
How am I mixing them up?
I don't know. I mean, they both came out the same year, so I'll let that slide.
But I do love this album. It's a great album. I just love it.
Did you like this one or this two better?
This one, because I wasn't allowed to listen to this too.
The hell? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think that makes sense. Okay.
My mom's
all the singles were on the first one, so that makes sense.
I told you I can only listen to singles.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But I mean, as I got older, of course, I listened to the whole thing, but still, this was my favorite, of course, just from childhood. But yeah,
I feel that.
That's it.
All right, Nick.
All right, so we can do the College Dropout. That's my last one. And,
you are a copycat.
You a copycat. Why don't we just say we both agree? We have great taste, JLH. We have great taste.
I agree.
This one was like, I remember when my brother had got it. We had a little like piece of shit little CD player. I remember a little boombox. We played the shit out of this album. I remember this one was special because I think for me, like, it was kind of a response to all that gangster shit. And it was like he was the antithesis of a gangster. Like, it was the complete opposite. And for me, it was interesting. You know what I mean? He's talking about going to college and just like, it's just a total opposite of all the stereotypes. And a lot of the rappers that I was listening to before that, T.I., 50, G-Unit, all that shit. This is an album that to this day, like, the production has aged. I will admit that. Like, even playing it now, you can hear it's old. But the way the weight of the songs themselves, like just the soulful samples, but also he brings a lot of gospel singers on here. Like, he has a lot of choirs, and I mean, just amazing songs, man. All Falls Down, Jesus Walks, Never Let Me Down.
What?
I mean, 2 Words. Even the intro, We Don't Care. Like,
What?
it's just the whole shit.
It's a production.
The production is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Like, Kanye, this is why I talk about Dr. Dre and Kanye for a second, because like Drake, Kanye just like could sniff out an amazing sample. Take Through the Wire, for example. From a producer standpoint, I was big into Jay Dilla, and the way he chopped shit up, he would chop up a bass line from 3 different songs and paste them together. Then he'd find melody parts from 3 different songs. You wouldn't even know what the fuck he sampled. The genius of Kanye is that he would just find a song, no matter how big it was. He would find a song, find a loop, put it in there, and it would be the hottest shit. He wouldn't overthink it. So Shaka Khan on that song, like it would just flow so well. And of course, like for me as a producer, of course I love the production, but the lyrics were fucking great too. I thought like it was so heartfelt, like the Family Business song, like just so much he touches on. Like that really opened me up to rap even more, because I like the tough guy shit. I like the gangster shit. I like the beats. I liked all that shit beforehand. But when I heard this, I was like, oh wow, like this is. I could listen to this I could listen to hip hop in so many different like circumstances and enjoy it. So many different atmospheres and enjoy it. This is a rapper being himself, wearing a fucking pink polo and shit. He's on Rockefeller. Like, you know what I mean? This is so, it's just like, and it was the birth of a legend. I mean, you see what he did after this. Yeah, man, this one is just special to me, man.
Agreed.
Special to me.
It's an amazing album. I love it.
It's so good.
It's one of my favorite hip hop albums of all time. And I told you, like, I'm not really like a big hip hop person. I'm more of an R&B person. That's my thing. I just love melodies. I love singing. I love sound. I love that kind of stuff. So when hip hop artists are able to incorporate that, and he was able to do that so effortlessly, and then it was just like, and I'm big on messages too. So I was really huge into poetry at the time. So that's kind of actually how I discovered Kanye, because he did the Def Jam poetry, and then for him to come out with the album, it was just like, oh my god, I love this man. And then I just started rocking polos all the time, and I didn't even realize I was rocking it because of him. But I just love this album. Like, it just spoke to my spirit. It was everything. And he was like, it was our K-Dot before we had K-Dot, because it was just like he gave us therapy too, because he was speaking on stuff that we was all feeling at the time, you know, us feeling like black people where we were in America, and just like us not being able to get ahead, or us seeing like certain things happen. And then like we are a religious culture, so for him to put out Jesus Walks, like that was crazy on the radio. Come on. And then that shit was hard. Shit was hard. Then the oh man, that shit. And that was another thing. His videos, his concepts, it was just so good. I love Kanye so much, and I hate him at the same time. But you cannot deny that he has something. And that album was just, and then the follow-up of it, oh my god, it was just so good. And then you see the documentary. And then it was amazing. Just the production. Oh, it was so right. It was just so crazy good. It was just, he rapped through his jaw being wired shut, y'all. That shit's wild. And then caught through the wire. And then the wordplay of it all. Like, are you fucking kidding me? How would you do? Why? Why did you do that? How did you think of that? That's that Gemini shit. That shit was fire. Like, I love that man. And I hate him at the same time. Shit, wow. That nigga genius.
Good old Kanye.
That shit, wow.
Yeah,
that was wild.
I think as a little, I love my facts. And Kanye, before that album came out, you talk about messages and shit like that. He was hanging out with like Talib Kweli and fucking Mos Def and shit. You know, Black Star. Right. He was chilling with like a lot of those type rappers. Kweli was the first one to bring him on tour. You know what I mean? So he was around a variety. He was around those kind of rappers, but also around Hove, Dame Dash, and Rockefeller. So he gives you this balanced view of like just everything. And like,
not to mention his background of what his parents did, like his mom was doing and stuff in the community and everything.
Right. Yeah. It was more of a middle class back. You know what I mean? You usually got the rags to riches shit. And that spoke more to me too. Is like okay. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
She's getting excited. I love it.
Right.
I love it.
I do. do, because he spoke to. It was like you wasn't in that life. Like I couldn't relate. That's why I was like, I wasn't into Nas. I wasn't. Yeah, I loved hip hop. I liked it, but I really wasn't about none of that. I wasn't.
Couldn't see yourself in it.
I didn't, and so it wasn't like my thing. And so R&B was just it for me. But so to see Kanye and to just be like, oh my God, I can relate to that polo wearing ass guy. Like
that is actually, I think that JLH, you sum it up better than I did on my review, because I'm about to say what it really was for me was exactly that. It was like, oh, this is something I can relate to certain things.
Yeah,
right. It was just like because like before it's like it's kind of the difference between you watching a movie, a character in a movie, like a or a theater. It's like it's drama, it's acting, versus like somebody It's like this is a little closer. I can relate. We can have a conversation.
Yes.
This shit I can watch on a screen, but I have nothing to do with it. But it's entertaining. I used to love mafioso movies. I watched them, but I'm not I'm far from that.
Yes.
Culture. So it's like. Yeah, no, that's great. I love that. Really
start to finish. That was awesome. My eyes can't keep working this. I just love it.
Oh, another one. Yeah, I mean, the whole track list.
It's so good.
There's no skips. So good. There's no skips on there. The features are great.
So good. Man. Okay, I'm done. I'm good. I'm sorry.
We're done.
That whole trilogy is just this whole trilogy for that.
What? Graduation, yo, I ran to buy those albums, all three. Like,
I definitely bought. Yeah, I bought Graduation for sure.
Yes,
cause that's when he was doing the whole thing with 50 Cent, when they were having that little
that was Graduation. You mean Graduation? Yeah.
I went ahead and bought Graduation. I'm like,
I ran to buy that. I had to have it.
And that's what we're talking about too, with the gangster shit and you know what I mean, something that's
a good mix.
You saw Kanye at the end of the day, like you saw Kanye created a new wave.
Yeah.
And then Kid Cudi and then Drake. We can be sensitive. We can do all that. Was for me, I was like, okay, this is a little more relatable. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you like the hyper masculine shit. Of course, I love that shit. But you also got somebody who's balanced. That's why I also like Common too. You got like a variety of shit. He can talk about his heartbreak on an album. You know what I mean? They can talk about some other shit. So man, he just.
I agree.
Yeah. Here we are having a whole episode on him. See, this is what happens.
I could talk about Kanye all day. I really could, because he really is a musical genius. And as much as, his antics outside of music is a bit much, like, as you can't deny what he's done for the culture at all.
Right.
Nah, you can't.
Definitely cannot. All right.
Your
last
number
pick.
5.
Yeah, my last pick before the honorable mentions. It's actually the same as Miss JLH. All Eyes on Me. Pac's my favorite artist. I had to throw Pac in here. You ain't know this?
Wait, what's the album after this called?
Machiavelli, the 70s.
Yes.
Don Illuminati.
I could not think of it to save my life. Yes.
Whole time.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that album, because we had that too.
This just came in today.
Yes. My mom did not let me play that album for real. I had to sneak it.
This one when Pac was angry. This was his anger.
Yeah, I had to sneak that one. Okay, that makes sense now.
But nah, I love this. And I definitely do love this album because, like, again, I grew up West Coast. I grew up listening to West Coast music, so this is like a prime West Coast album. It's just like this right after he got out of jail. He first joined Death Row. The dude had like 6-7 singles on this one CD.
Bro.
Right, and
went the fuck off back to back to back.
It's the first double CD. I put it in quotes because technically Will Smith had the first double CD.
Okay, look at you with the 50 facts.
Technically, but this was like the first full length like double CD, so that's why people consider just one the first one. But yeah, all the tracks bump. Well, I ain't gonna say all. Most of them bump. Of course, like the singles, you got "How Do You Want It," "Count for Your Love," "Count for Your Love" remix, "I Ain't Mad at You," "All About You," Ambitions as a Writer, Hearts of Men, and that's just the first disc. Then like on the second disc you got Thug Passion, Checkout Time, Picture Me Rolling. It's just so many good tracks on this joint, bro. I remember we did an episode a couple months ago talking about double CDs.
Mm-hmm.
And which ones, like, because you know, a lot of double CDs have like mad filler, like Lil Flip.
Oh my lord, we just mentioned Lil Flip and Tupac in the same episode. I'm embarrassed.
Oh my God.
That's
Not Lil Flip.
hilarious.
Y'all
Good
really-
example. That's the best example I could have possibly came up with.
Not Little Flip.
Like you got All Eyes on Me, then you got the Lil Flip joint.
don't
Like, that
know.
shit was horrible, bro. But like, bro, I mean, granted, last time I listened to this shit, I was like in 8th grade, but
Even then, you knew.
even then, it was just like, bro, it's, the only good songs were the singles.
I only knew one song he
Exactly.
had.
The Game Over. Was that the only one you knew?
No.
Oh damn! Oh, so Sunshine. You knew Sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was Game Over?
Her
I
crush
remember
was
Gunshine?
playing
Game
that
Over.
shit. Her boyfriend
Yeah.
was playing that. back
Right.
then.
Yeah. Wait, I don't even remember how it go. Yeah. Sunshine.
Exactly.
Exactly. The girl made the song. Hey,
Exactly.
you guys remember the video? Remember the
No.
video for that? Lil Flip looks a fucking mess.
He do look
Giant
horrible.
green like camouflage outfit by a pier. Like what?
This is braids.
Terrible, man. He look
Yo,
awful. In that
He
video.
said, "Yo, I just hate that his name was Lil Flip. It was annoying. Like, and then he was light skinned. It was so horrible. It was
I'm
so
weak.
bad. I hate it. I hate everything about it.
But nah, this probably one of my
Lil
favorite.
Flip's one of my honorable mentions, man. Be careful.
Yeah, he'd be alright.
You better stop. Better
But
stop.
nah, like this is definitely one of my. This is probably my favorite Pac album. And what I like about Pac's albums is like, not excluding like his posthumous albums, but like each album was different.
Yeah.
Like, Tupacism now was like, you know, it was this whole Black Power movement type joint. Strictly for My Niggas was kind of on the same thing, but had more like stuff for the ladies and stuff too. Like Keep Your Head Up was on that joint as well. And then you got Me Against the World, which is probably honestly his most purest album because like he was emotional as fuck on the album. You could tell he was sad. He was talking about like suicidal thoughts and things like that. And just also around the same time, he just got locked up for sexual assault. And then All Eyes on Me,
I didn't even
That's
know
it.
he got locked up for sexual assault. Thank you for
Yeah.
that hip hop fact.
yeah, forcibly touching the buttocks, as he says.
I know that even happened. Wow.
Yeah. And then he got out of jail. Then that's when he dropped All Eyes on Me, which is like his coming back album. So he had to make a statement coming out of jail. For all the people who doubted him, people who thought that he raped a girl when you know he didn't. He had all his like allegations against him, and of course the whole East Coast West Coast shit.
Yeah.
And then the Machiavelli album, that was like his like, that nigga was angry. That's what all the diss tracks were on. Like All Eyes on Me. I'm not All Eyes on Me. Against All Odds, Toss It Up, which was a diss to Dre, Dr. Dre, and Blackstreet. Because if you listen to the song, it's very similar to No Diggity. Fun fact, that was actually supposed to be Pac's beat.
Oh
Dre
wow.
But when Dre left, Dre took the beat with him and gave it to Blackstreet. So they made a
Thank
remake.
you for the fun fact.
So
That's
they made a remake of the beat and like started dissing Dre towards the end.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up. That's
yeah,
wild.
I mean, yeah, Pac was reckless.
Hip hop. That's fine.
Right. But
I
yeah,
love petty moments.
Hey, but yeah, that's definitely that's my fifth pick. And now we get on to the honorable mentions.
Well, Nick did mine.
Which
And I
one?
went in on that. That was it.
College Dropout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah. That was your only one? I thought you had another one.
No, Snoop Dogg Doggy Style.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
I love how
That's-
many we have in common. I like that. That's cool.
Right.
That's cool.
That was like literally one of my favorite albums as a kid, even though I really wasn't allowed to listen to it. But I used to sing it a lot. Lonely on the Street.
Smoking in
Sipping on juicy juice is what I used to say because I wasn't allowed
on
to
my
say
mommy and my
gin
mommy
and
on my
juice.
mind.
Yeah, I was not allowed to say gin and juice. I used to love this album. I had to sneak to listen to it.
I got that joint on my wall.
I just thought it was a really good album. It was especially for his debut album. Like, come on, it was a great album. The production was great on it. The cover's wow, but this is a good ass cover because it just really describes West Coast. West Coast was wild. This album, this cover's wild. This album's wild. I loved it.
Doggy dog.
It was great. Hands down, one of the best hip hop albums of all time. For me.
No, I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my top 10.
No, I'll probably put it in my top 10 too, to be honest.
It's definitely in my top 10.
That's another album I can play all the way through.
I agree. As well. Shockingly. Sometimes I like gangster shit, and sometimes I like, you know, shit. But I don't want it all the time because I feel like hip hop is a mood. Hip hop is an expression. You know, you getting stuff out. It's not like. I mean, I think all music is like that, but hip hop is different. It's a different type of aggression, and I just ain't got that in me all the time. But I respect the art of it. I respect the way that it impacts our culture, and I respect just the different way of how people present it. So it just really depends on the artist for me and how they present themselves and how I'm fucking with it, and that's what makes me love an artist, especially a hip hop artist. Like I love Baby King now because, of course, you know, Kendrick.
I'm weak.
But I love me some Cordae. You know, I would have to put.
Or Cordae though, I fuck with Cordae.
As a new artist, if I had to have an honorable mention for new artists, his first album would go in my honorable mention.
We talking about this too, Lost Boy.
Yeah, Definitely. That was a really great.
It was really good.
Yeah.
First album. For a first album, that shit was. I feel like he's such an underrated artist, and it really bothers me. But whatever. His second album was good.
It's not better than the first one, but
it's not better than the first. No. I do like it. But his first album, for sure, will be in my honorable mentions if we.
It was really fucking good. Yeah.
So good. So good. Production, like that kid. Yeah, the lyricism, like
and he put the DMV.
Start to finish. Yeah, that was a good album. Good features.
I love seeing the DMV artists make it.
Same.
Oh hell yeah!
Good.
It sucks because I feel like Wale could be better than, but I don't like Wale's albums.
Don't get me started on that.
I don't think he has good albums.
He's his own worst enemy.
I think
he
Wale makes good singles, but I don't think he makes good albums.
See, Wale's in my top 10 as far as like favorite artists, favorite rappers. He's my
really
my top 10. Yes, but it's because I grew up I ain't gonna say I grew up listening. I remember Wale before he had the dreads, like when he was just local. When Dig Dug came out, Nike boots, Uptown Roamers. You know what I'm saying? That's really cool. Man. Back when he was wearing like the dunks with the bright strings and all that shit. He's the reason why I wear dunks.
That's cool. Bullshit. I never had an artist like that. That's dope, man. I agree. Like local artists. No, I never had.
But just like a lot of North Carolina niggas feel about J. Cole, that's how I feel about Wale. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like when people talk about the Mount Rushmore, you got like Drake, Cole, Kendrick. Yeah. Wale, in my opinion, Wale is supposed to be up there.
I agree.
He just didn't. I mean, the thing is, like, he can make a great R&B track.
Yeah,
especially if he gets somebody like Jeremiah Lloyd or like whatever.
Every time it's a banger.
Every time it's Miguel. Anytime it's gonna be a hit.
It is.
But
he makes good singles.
But at the same time, he's lyrical as fuck.
He's
lyrical as fuck, especially if you listen to his early mixtapes, fucking 100 Miles and One and Paint a Picture.
The first time I heard him was on a feature. He was on a feature on the Roots album, and I was like, "Who the fuck?" Like he sounded great next to Black Thought. I was like, "Damn, he's good."
And you know you got to be good if you're on the track with Black Thought.
Yes, sir.
That's the point. So like,
right.
Wally has it. It's just like you said, he's his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I don't know
Which
what
See,
kinda
I'm gonna
sucks.
say I think he tried to be too commercial. I
That
think
too.
that was my thing. I thought I said this on the other episode, but going to MMG, I don't know. In the long
Wasn't
run,
a good move to
he
you?
produced some great music while, and especially his first album on MMG.
Second album, yeah,
Or second or whatever.
ambition.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch of
Oh
bangers.
yeah,
on
that
it.
was a good album.
He had a whole bunch
I
of bangers,
agree.
but I think in the long
But-
term, I think MMG might have been the wrong place for him.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Maybe he could have had his own Dreamville or some shit. You know, if he hadn't gone that way. Because I was just like, he's
I feel that.
he's got the poetic style and shit. I'm like, he doesn't quite fit the.
Fit in there.
Yes, but he
it
wants
makes
to.
sense.
Like, he wants to. He wants to
Right.
though. But it's like, bro,
Yeah.
you were good enough the way you were. You were fucking great the way you were. Like, you
Yeah.
were awesome the way you were. You didn't need to change. Like,
Yeah.
that's my personal opinion. Now,
I
I was not on Wale like you were, AJ. I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely was not. But
Same
I
here.
listened, and I
Oh,
appreciated
wow.
him. He's a great artist. He's a great artist. Can't
Yeah.
say he's not.
Exactly.
I
More
agree.
about nothing. Like his
You don't like that album?
Oh, I love that album.
I'm talking about his new album.
His new one that came out. Yeah. No, it's straight. You talking about the
Oh.
one that came out last year?
No, this one that came out this year. He came out with an album this year.
For Lauren too, I think it was. or
Oh
something.
no, that was last year. Yeah.
No,
I fuck with Lauren, too.
no, y'all. He came out with an album this year.
He got another one.
Yes.
I don't think so. He
it's
came out with one in late 2021. I'm looking it up.
No, it's 2022. It just
Okay.
came out.
right now. I don't see
I don't
it
know
on
what it's
this.
called. I can't think of what it's
Okay.
called though. I just listened to it, but I can't think of it. What the name is? I don't know, y'all. Look it up. It's a Seinfeld. It's a Seinfeld play again.
It's a Seinfeld play.
Yeah.
What was it?
Or did he re-release it? Like,
He might have re-released it.
Might have
Oh, is that
No,
what
I
that
know.
is?
Oh, they did put more about nothing on streaming platforms. So that might be what you're talking about.
oh, okay.
Yeah, because that was
My
his
bad.
mixtape. But they just
I
put
got
it
hype.
on streaming.
My bad, y'all. Never mind. Stand down.
I was about to say, hold on, wait a minute now.
I saw 2022 and Wale, and they showing me like it's a new album. I was like, oh, he released something this year. Wow. Okay, let me check it out.
That is
But
re-released.
not re-releasing it and then playing me. Whatever.
Right. Because it wasn't on streaming platforms before. That's why. Because it was a mixtape, so it was only available like on DatPiff and like
Oh, that
livemixtape.com.
shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind. My bad. Ignore me. I don't like his albums. I just don't. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I can't listen to his music from start to finish, but that's neither here nor there.
I can respect that.
Yeah. Go on. Honorable mentions.
Who's that? Oh, he's on Nick.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I say
Yeah,
Nick had a couple.
Yeah, I had a couple. I'm trying to remember all of them. I mean, the first one I remember was Reasonable Doubt.
Oh yeah.
I was actually just playing that before we got on the show. That one, so I think, is up there with Blueprint as one of Jay-Z's best albums.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For me personally, but it's just a very different Jay-Z. This is like if you like 90s rap sound, it's not as polished, it's not as clean, doesn't have as many hooks. And this is before he was at his commercial peak. But if you want like his best writing and rapping, he doesn't write, but his best rapping, some of his best rapping is on this shit. Yeah, this one, like, yeah, I mean, just the kind of like story he's telling. I mean, it's very raw. And for me as a producer, I fucking love the 90s sound. So I mean, when this shit came out, I was like 3 years old or 4 years old. But later on, I got on it. Oh my God, the jazzy samples. He had some of the best producers on there. A beat like Dead Presidents 2 has been recorded. Like, it's basically a timeless hip hop beat. You've heard it. A million rappers do it. J. Cole, whatever. This one, yeah, it really was. This was probably one of Jay-Z's deepest albums. Up there with American Gangster and 444. Just talking about like his life. And really what he comes from. Like, it's so funny. He's a pop figure now, but like, this motherfucker was really hustling. Like, this dude was, like, he was really doing that shit. Like, all this shit you see in movies, he was really doing that shit. So it's like, he's 26 on this album, and you can tell, like, when people have their first album, and I think he said this too.
You can hear the
When you have your whole life to record your first album, and you can feel. I mean, the shit he's talking on. You can feel he's like 26 when he's making that album because he's really been through some shit. And a lot of people, I don't think, realize like, okay, Jay-Z, he's cool, he's a rapper, he's cool, you know, whatever now. But where he came from, if you want to know where he came from, listen to this fucking album. Yeah, man. So I think I do think it's underappreciated. I wouldn't say underrated. It's like what you were saying, AJ. Not underrated if you're a hip hop fan, but underappreciated, yes. Definitely underappreciated.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Because usually whenever somebody say what's their favorite Jay-Z album, it's always Reasonable Doubt or The Blueprint.
Well, I'm curious who you're asking. You might be asking some hip hop fans, but I'm saying like for a lot of people,
like
I feel like Reasonable Doubt is forgotten because it didn't have hit singles. All his other albums had hit singles, but like, what's the hit single on?
I can feel you. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Like he didn't
okay,
really have
so
like a
then I do
hit
ask a lot of hip hop fans.
Yeah, you like you're around good people then because that's a good.
Like his first big hit was a Hard Knock Life.
Hard Knock.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
that
was like his
that was
first.
volume 2, so that was
Volume
like
2.
2 years later.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, these albums, these ones are more laid back. But you got songs like 22 Twos. Listen to that shit. If you don't think Jay-Z can rap, listen to 22 Twos.
Can't
listen
Knock
to
the
that
Hustle.
Shit. That's all I'll say. But Can't Knock the Hustle, The Evils, Dead Presidents, Feeling It, all them joints, man. Like, yeah, bro. Yep. I'm almost like that should be in my top 5. I'm like, I don't know if I should put Blueprint or that one. That was
you made your bed, now you late.
I would say you had a couple more, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what I said, bro.
I know.
Help him out, AJ.
I'm pulling this one up next.
Nobody out.
Yeah. Okay, so this one.
Oh shit! Wow, I did not expect it.
Cars and clothes.
When we talk about albums that influenced us, remember what I said? This shit, 24s, Rubber Band Man, all that shit, bro. I fucking ate.
This one had "Let's Get Away" on it too, right? Let's Get Away.
Let's Get Away.
Yeah, that was on that one too.
But my favorite song, though, probably a lot of people don't remember it, is "Be Easy." Listen to that shit.
Oh yeah, "Be Easy." I was listening to that the other day. Actually,
probably my favorite T.I. track.
Pimpin'
This
Be
one,
Easy.
Be just smooth as shit. Man, this one for me, like I think I was listening to a ton of New York shit. Probably also because of where I'm from. I'm from Boston and whatever. But listening to this shit, I was like, oh man, I love this like Southern sound. I love just the whole vibe of it was just dope. And I like T.I. I thought he was just cool as shit. You know what I mean? So I just vibe with it. You know what I mean? So this one definitely stuck with me. It definitely influenced me a lot. So that's why it's on there.
Oh yeah, I definitely love this joint. My favorite T.I. one is Urban Legend.
I agree.
But this is
my favorite is probably King. I mean,
this was a start for T.I. though. This was a start.
This was a start.
Yeah.
This was when T.I. was good. I don't care for him now.
Yeah, after Paper Trail was like, eh.
Yeah.
I stopped really listening after Paper Trail.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Right.
Clearly, we're all in unison here.
Exactly. All right, here's her next joint.
Yeah, I had a couple of joints. Oh yeah, American.
Oh wow, I didn't see this coming either.
Absolutely. Oh man, this joint.
Okay. But don't you have this one? No, you got which vinyl did you have for Ice Cube? Was it this one? Or
I got Death Certificate.
Do y'all feel like Ice Cube is underrated?
Oh no.
Nah, he's not underrated.
No.
I don't feel like a lot of people. I've never heard anyone like bring up.
That's because he does like mostly movies now, so he's not really rapping anymore.
There you go. Because he's successful in movie business, that sort of overshadowed it. If he hadn't been, people would be talking more about his raps, probably.
Exactly.
But
I mean, he still raps now.
He does. He does. Yeah, he does. Yeah. But this one. Basis. So I'm gonna shout out my history teacher in high school, Mr. Kerhias, bro. Hey. That dude, the first day of school, the first day of his class. Now he had the reputation for being the hardest teacher in school. He was like the hardest teacher in school. So I always like challenges. I just run towards challenges. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take his class. We'll see what he's about. The first day of American history class, he shows a Public Enemy music video as the opening to class.
Are you
And
serious?
I was just like, this is where I need to fucking be. This is where I need to fucking be. And I'm friends with this dude. I'm literally still friends with him today, like 15 years later.
Oh, that's so
He
nice.
put me on all that shit. And so this came out in 1990. And the reason why I mentioned Public Enemy is because it's produced by the Bomb Squad, the same people who produced Public Enemy's records. And you can see why they transitioned to Ice Cube. Ice Cube, people might just think it's just like a bunch of gangster shit, whatever. That's what they want you to think. Listen to this fucking album, and even in the title, but listen to this album, and you hear a lot of like very thoughtful analysis about what's going on in his neighborhood, and just it's raw as shit. If you're sensitive, don't listen to this shit. You're not gonna like it because he's raw as shit. But that's something I love about rap. And this is probably my favorite West Coast. We talk about different West Coast albums. This is one of my favorite ones because for me, it's got all the raw shit you could want, but it also balances it out with a lot of messages about race, politics, whatever. So for me, that shit, it's just amazing. And the Bomb Squad production, it sounds old now, but when I listen to it, I'm like, this is kind of genius the way they flip all the samples. It's very, very multi-layered. I respect the musicality of it. See, I put that shit on there.
What I do love about all our choices is I feel like all of our albums definitely age gracefully. I don't feel like there's one album any of us chose that, you know, you're not going to go back and be like, oh, this is a classic. This is a classic.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts.
Did I have another one? I feel like I had like 5 or something.
You had like mad. You had mad
I had
ones.
like 10.
Oh my God.
You really did, for real, for real.
Oh, yeah. Do you want
Had
more?
the Roots.
I had the Roots.
Actually, their picnics this weekend, actually. I believe.
Oh, I wish I could go.
I wish too.
That's what's up, bro.
I honestly didn't even know about it, to be honest.
Me, I forgot about it.
I
It's supposed to be really good.
Wait, what was it?
The Roots picnic.
The Roots Picnic.
Oh, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, they do like they do what?
No.
They do
Oh,
a picnic.
wow.
They do a picnic like every year.
Every
They
year.
have, like a big ass
For like
concert.
the past few years now.
Oh, shit. I didn't even
Think
know
of like
that.
Broccoli Fest, but like with the Roots and like
With the
their-
Roots, yeah. They
Oh,
get
dope.
like
That's dope.
really amazing artists together, of course,
Yeah.
and just rock out. But you know they supposed to be bringing you know, after Questlove did the Summer of Soul and he won that award for
Yeah, he
it.
won that Oscar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing that back now in Harlem.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and one of the guys from New Edition is supposed to be Michael Bivins. He's like the head of it or something.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's dope.
Mhm.
Yeah, this one's the smoothest shit. It's just so good. It's so fucking good, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. I just put it on there for a vibe. That's such a good vibe.
Definitely
Roots is definitely
vibes.
a vibe.
I agree. Nothing but vibes.
I think my favorite Roots song is "What We Do." That's my favorite.
Yeah,
one. It's not a good album.
that's one of my favorites too, bro. That
Yeah.
beat is crazy. The whole
Hell
fucking
yeah.
vibe to it's crazy.
Then I think you had like one more.
I think I had one more. Oh yeah, Common.
Another
right.
comment? Oh my God.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
love
I remember
some
this shit.
Common.
I remember this shit in 8th grade. So the production on this really influenced me a lot. I remember in 8th grade. I remember actually we were on a trip to DC. It was like my class did like a class trip to DC. I remember that. And the best part was listening to this album on the bus, just fucking around. Like I don't even remember anything else. The production was so good, man. The production's so smooth. No ID, who as Kanye's mentor, also a record executive for years, produced a bunch of different artists. Jay-Z, 444, he executive produced that joint. He was like considered the godfather of Chicago rap at the time. This is 94. And yeah, man, just the vibe of it. And this is kind of like a college dropout shit for me. It's nowhere near that. I would not put it on the same level, especially rapping and not even production wise. But in terms of him being not a gangster from a middle class background, just talking about like everyday shit, just like fucking around, like it just connected with me. And me and my friends used to play it all the fucking time. So yeah, that one's on my wall too. Actually, I got the vinyl for that one.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
Good choices.
Was that the last one he had?
I think so, bro.
I think so.
5.
Yeah, I think that is the last one. Yeah.
How many honorable mentions you got, AJ?
I only got like 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I only got 2.
Okay.
All right. So my first one is, because we were talking about this earlier, Machiavelli, the Don Illuminati, 7 Day Theory. Like I was saying earlier, like this came out like after Pocket died, like 2 months after Pocket died, and I said this is probably like his most angriest album, because like just like at the heat of like the whole East Coast West Coast shit, that he was like beefing with everybody, like Biggie, Nas, Mobb Deep, Jay-Z, De La Soul, Dr. Dre. He was this nigga was mad at. Yeah, he felt like
that's when you know you're angry as shit.
No, because like
flowers and shit.
No, because like they did a video and it kind of parodied the "I Get Around" video.
Oh,
so he took that as a diss. So he started talking shit with them about them, and of course he talked about when he got shot in New York, like the Quad Studio, and like all this other shit. Of course, that's the album that has "Hail Mary" on it, your favorite song. What else? Toss It Up. That's like the diss to No Diggity. To Live and Die in LA, White Man's World, Crazy, Me and My Girlfriend, when he's talking about the gun.
Yeah, I like that song too.
And that was actually inspired by
oh wow, do I like this album?
The Nas song.
There's a lot of songs in this album I do like too. I forget about this. This was my sneak album.
Yeah, this album was fire. It's only 12 tracks on the album, but it's supposed to be more, but they took a lot of songs off because him and Nas had squashed their beef like right before he had passed. So he was trying to take off like songs that were dissing him, but of course he died beforehand, so he wasn't able to take everything off. But
oh wow,
I heard a story from
History
you hear that story from Snoop about that? About the time what was it? He was in the studio in New York with Pac. It was Pac, Snoop, and then Pac was mad as shit and was like dissing Nas, but Nas still dapped him up and said, "I respect you, bro. Like you're good."
No, I think it was at the MTV Awards.
Was that MTV Awards?
Yeah,
shit? Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because there's actually an album on YouTube where like all the original songs are still on the album. The songs that got taken off are still on the album. So you can find it on YouTube, like the demo version of it. But yeah, like what with this album, like what Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me, and the Machiavelli album, like if you had to have any three Tupac albums listen to those 3 in order: Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me, and Machiavelli, because like you can feel like his emotions changed with each album. Like I said, he was sad. He was sad with Me Against the World. Me Against the World, like he was suicidal. He was in jail when the album got released. Granted, it wasn't #1, but he was still like in jail, so he couldn't really celebrate it. He gets out of jail. He releases All Eyes on Me. That's like his comeback album, like him saying "fuck you" to everybody type shit that was dissing him while he was in jail and all that other shit. And then Machiavelli album, he was just went off. That's like his most raw album. So he went from pure to raw. So I definitely should say like definitely listen to those albums. And
do people realize how young he was too?
Exactly.
I forget about it. I feel like every time we talk about Tupac, I always think we're talking about some like 30-year-old man, but nah, he was like mad in his early 20s.
24.
He was 25 when he passed.
Oh, so mid-20s. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, early mid-20s. That's insane.
Exactly. Like he had all this knowledge.
To go through so much like that.
Exactly.
Such a young age to see so much. That's just wow.
It's like
he accomplished a lot too.
Exactly, because people talking about like, oh,
yeah,
he did just that third, but you gotta understand he was young. He really had no father figure for real. So it's kind of like he's just going based on he's learning as he goes. Like that's all of us though. Like we're learning as we go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially like you see him changing so much in such a shorter period of time. That's called
Exactly.
adolescence, motherfuckers. Like I said, it's just growing up. You grow up, make mistakes, you change quickly,
Exactly.
quickly. And that's you imagine doing that in the public eye too. Everybody hating you and
Word.
shit. Everybody on you. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Got a
crazy.
target on your back.
Have some
Yeah.
compassion for people, man. Like, there's
Word.
people that judging them too much. I mean, like, you be
Right.
angry too.
Exactly. Like I
A
was
lot
thinking
of
to myself, like,
people.
what if I was in his shoes? I'd be like, damn, I'll probably be dead too. If I
Probably
was
wouldn't
in
be
his
that
shoes.
much different. No.
Right.
A lot of people say that Tupac really wasn't that great of a rapper as we make him out to be. What do you think about that?
In what sense, great
Yeah,
rapper?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what do you mean?
I mean, some people just say like he just really wasn't as great. Like we just kind of hype him up too much, I guess.
For
Like,
me,
he
it's more
really-
about the substance.
Mhm.
Cause like he talked about real shit, and even back then, people didn't want to really hear that shit.
Right.
'Cause, like again, like he comes from like Black Panther families. You know what I'm saying? He talked about
Right.
Black Power shit. Nobody wanted to hear that shit in the mid-90s at that point.
Right.
That's why he
Brenda's
kind of
got a
switched.
baby.
Yeah, like
Ain't
Brenda's
nobody
got a
want to hear
baby,
that shit. Fucking
trapped.
for, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody was about that shit. That's why Tupac was now didn't sell at like it should have, because nobody
See,
was on that
I
shit.
could understand the hyping up shit. Like I can understand why somebody would feel that way because he's just reached such legendary status. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with like an example, but you know, you could hype up Michael Jordan. Like, man, they hype him up too much. You know, he's got all his shoes, he's got $1 billion. Like, was he really that great? It's like I can understand why people would question that because the hype is because like everything he's built has become so big. He's such a legend that it's like it almost his legendary status has grown over his raps. It's almost like he's like
Yeah.
his figure is bigger than the rap. So people are like, well, are the raps even that great? Because I know he's an icon. Like even Bob Marley, I know Bob Marley's an icon, whatever. But like I didn't really listen to his music. It's like, yeah, I get that, but for me personally, no, it does add up. It does add up. He's a tragic figure in a lot of ways. You look at his history, you look at the Black Panthers, all that shit. He's a prodigal, all that. He's a piece of American history. There's a reason why he's remembered. You know what I mean? That's my take on that shit.
And then plus, no one had the work ethic that he had back then. Like, look at all the posthumous albums that came out after he died. You know what I'm saying? Like, what other artists had shit like that? For real.
Right.
For real.
Right.
Yeah, he really put his life in his art, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in movies. He was
right.
like. That's why I also feel like.
Time.
Yeah, you
Such
think
a
he's
short
40.
time.
You think he's like 40 years old because all the shit he did.
Interviews, videos.
Right.
Yeah.
I always catch myself going back watching like a Tupac interview just because.
Yeah,
It's
same.
just so
Same.
eye opening watching them shits.
Agreed.
Even if I've seen it before, it's like.
Same. Same.
Right.
What was your other one?
My last pick, honorable mention. Oh, hold on. Eminem show.
I'm really shocked. I just like really can't believe your honorable mentions. I was not expecting them.
Again,
Wow.
like
Okay.
I said, I started getting into hip hop around 01.
This
02.
one?
And this is
Really?
when the album came out. This album came out in 02. And Eminem was this is Eminem in his prime.
Yes.
This is arguably Eminem's best, in my opinion, Eminem's best album. This is his
This
best album.
is still hating his mother, Eminem.
Yeah, he was definitely still hating his mother at this point. Cleaning out my closet.
What? That was my shit. I said, I'm sorry, mama. I never misheard you. That was my shit.
Right. And this is another one. Well, mine is like maybe one song, but I could play this album all the way through. Mine is one song.
What's that?
What was it called? I think Just Like Daddy or some shit like that.
Mm.
Or Like Father. Or something like that. I forgot what it's called. It was like towards the end of the album.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think my favorite track on here is Superman though.
Superman.
Yeah, that
Superman
shit
was my
was-
shit. Especially that first verse. That was my shit.
Eminem was wild.
He
And
That
was.
that's
man
really
was
wild.
wild as shit.
That is so wild.
And they just
Hmm.
re-released the joint with like all the
Wow.
instrumentals.
White America, I could be one of your kids.
Like Eminem gave zero fucks in the
He
joint.
was wild. Yo, he didn't give no fucks back in the day. And
He
it
didn't.
wasn't just black parents who didn't like him. White parents hated him.
Mm-hmm.
He was like hated. Everyone hated
Everywhere.
him.
You know, he got me cooked. I got kicked out of class in first grade. 'cause of his
Yo.
ass. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, I remember in his video, he used to always grab on his nuts and like throw his hands up. I started doing that shit in class for some reason. I got kicked the fuck out. Like,
He was a bad
you're right.
example for us all.
People were just like, did not
Yo.
like his ass.
Let my mom piss me off. I was also cleaning out my closet. You
Oh,
feel me?
weak.
Like I was like, yo, he touched our souls. We was some depressed ass kids because it was too many musicians out here speaking to our hearts, and he was one of them. Like I hated my mom too sometimes. I mean, I feel
dead.
you.
I'm dead. Not to that level.
Uh-oh.
Can't unlike him, I wasn't gonna say it. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
But I felt it.
Right. We can't do that.
Right, at all.
We can't do that.
You're not gonna kill me, lady.
Mm-mm, anybody had me dead. In local news today.
Did But my mom hated her some Eminem, but I loved
Yeah,
him.
my mom didn't. My mom didn't want me to listen to Eminem either.
Yeah.
My parents never were mad. I remember my dad, like, he liked 8 Mile. Like, he liked the movie, dog. Like, he liked the shit. Like, he didn't even listen to rap, but he liked that shit.
Hey, 8 Mile was my movie though, for real. That was my movie though.
I know, it was so good. I loved it. But yeah. That was
good
good
in that.
choice,
That was
y'all.
02. I was 2002 as well.
Yeah, that was dope too. Yeah, that album went diamond as well. Like damn.
A lot of
For
stuff,
the
all of this
moment.
stuff, I don't think Eminem's music aged as well as I thought it would.
Nah, it didn't. It definitely did not.
But
Especially
8
now.
Mile definitely aged well.
The movie,
Yeah, the movie,
Yeah.
The
the
movie's
song,
and the
Good.
soundtrack. You
the
was stuff,
soundtrack. Yeah, I was about to say
Soundtrack.
the soundtrack. Yeah, I said the song because that's like literally the only one that we like a lot. Luke's
That's
just
true.
like the music, but yeah, that aged well. But the rest of his stuff, no,
Oh no. Especially right now. Nope.
absolutely
You
not.
can't play that shit now.
Um,
That shit couldn't
Oh
come
my
out now.
god.
It was wild. It was
Especially
wild.
Marshall Mathers LP. That shit could not
Yo.
come out now.
Oh my
Like,
God.
and the fact that he was able to say and do a lot of the stuff that he was, and just like nobody, like everyone hated him. It was bad. He was constantly in the news. I remember that vividly. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Right.
They was like talking about him. He was just like really bad for us.
Yeah.
Like they
Right.
really wanted him gone.
But I always felt like he summed himself up so well. I think it was on his first album where he says, I just have the balls to say the shit that you're thinking and the shit that you say with your friends in your living rooms. I just say it. I just record it. You saying the same raw ass shit, but I just got the
Yeah.
balls to say it. And to me, I kind of agree with that because
Yeah.
you talk about
I think he
he's
said
the
that on-
only, he's
on
the
Real
only
Slim
one
Shady.
calling using gay slurs at that time. Like no, like you know what I mean. He's not the only one.
Right.
But in a way, I feel like it's a sign that we've come farther in 20 years. You know what I mean? That somebody like that, look at like DaBaby, you know, with what happened with his statements about the LGBT community. You know what I mean? You see how people can get canceled now. Like in a way, I think it's a good thing in the sense of you can see how far we've come in terms of, I don't know, being more thoughtful with speech. I think it could
I
be a good
agree.
thing.
Mm.
But I mean, it's time and place. Like you said, if you play that shit now, if he was a rapper right now, he would never make it anywhere with that. Like,
No.
they would have canceled his ass before an album even came out.
Oh,
But you know, it's time and place. Culture moves on.
Or even like
Things
when
change.
Tyler Creator first came out. Like,
Right, he
Like-
was doing that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was on that.
was
shit, too.
he?
Oh
Tyler?
yeah.
Yes.
A lot of gay
I've never
slurs.
listened to early
yeah.
Tyler the Creator.
Uh-huh.
so-
Yeah, early childhood. Yeah, he was on like, some homophobic stuff and all that.
Wow. I did not know that.
Like anti-religion type stuff. He was on all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Did
granted,
not know that.
he was trolling, but like, still.
Yeah.
I mean, Eminem was trolling.
Eminem was trolling
I
too,
mean,
but yeah.
A
But
lot.
still, yeah.
He made that very clear.
Right.
I was just so upset. The whole NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I remember you did that because I was like a huge fan at the time, and for you to do that, like, how dare you? So I was like,
Christina Aguilera.
yo,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, that
yeah,
shit was
it was so much.
hilarious.
Pretty
It made me hate
Spears.
him after a while because I was just like, you're not gonna do that to my favorite people. But
He
yeah,
said, "What's this chick retarded? Give me back my $16." I was like, damn.
Eminem was wild. I can't believe you have that album as one of your honorable.
Hey, it was a good
Really
album.
though? Because like, he got Chronic on there. AJ like a little wild shit.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
wild.
like
That was a wild choice. That was
He does have uplifting songs on there too, like "Sing for the Moment." Then he got like
Oh,
Haley's song where he's talking about his daughter. He got custody
Yes.
of his daughter back from his wife. Well,
Okay.
I
He's
didn't
got
know
a variety
those
of
songs were
songs.
on. I remember those songs, but I don't remember song names on a lot of the
Till I
time.
Collapse. I remember that one goes
Till I
hard as
Collapse.
fuck.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that
hard
is
as
on.
fuck.
Okay.
It's like the
With
hardest
him
Eminem song. That
Yeah.
beat is
Okay,
crazy.
that was a good album. You're right.
I'm a
You're
soldier.
right.
Yeah.
Yo, bringing it back. I hear you.
Till I Collapse.
Cause Eminem was.
Till I
We used to love Eminem, man. What happened? He just didn't age
Um,
well.
Oh,
You know what? I'm gonna
What's that song he had with Dr. Dre on there? Say
Say
what
What
you
You
say.
Say.
Oh yeah, because that's when they were dissing Jermaine Dupri.
I don't remember that one.
Dr. Dre had a beef with Jermaine Dupri.
For real?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
because JD said some shit like he said like Dre was washed up or some shit like that. I'm paraphrasing, but like something in that sort. So that Dr. Dre just went off on that one song.
JD said he's what
Yeah.
in 2000.
I don't know the exact. Like,
That's hilarious.
wording.
I can't even name a time in the last like 20 years Dre was washed up. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not, that dude.
And this comes from JD. I'm
Ain't
like,
made
come on, bro.
music since, and he still ain't washed up. I'm dead.
Right.
What was you gonna say, Nick, about?
Oh, I was gonna say something I observe about some artists. I think some artists like, and I'm not saying these artists are too similar, but like, bear with me. So like, you got artists like a Ludacris, a Nelly, Eminem. Okay, they have like their music is so hot that it like takes over everything, right? It becomes like it's the most trendy music, like the most trending music. I always think it's hard for artists like that to make music that's gonna last a really long time because it's almost like they're too hot. They're so hot that it's like too hot. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like you notice with their careers, they only was like 5 years or so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they
Very
couldn't
short
go
lived.
beyond that. And then like what you saw once Ludacris shifted turns and did some more serious shit with Release Therapy, everyone was like, what the fuck? And then when Eminem switched and did some shit with Relapse and got off it was off the drugs, people were like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
because when you're that hot, like you can't shift gears that much without everyone being like, nah, we don't want that shit. We only want that one side of you. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel about Nelly when he switched to do the country shit. People are like, that's too much. Don't do it too much. Like, Tim McGraw and all that shit. Nah, we ain't trying to hear that. So that's why for me, I feel like he was too hot. He was too hot to last, for a really, really long time. Me personally, I can't stand the music he's been putting out for the last 15 years.
Wow.
I'm not trying to hear it. Like the pop songs, I'm not trying to hear that shit. Like,
Yeah, me neither.
that's just me personally. It's not the same. Not the
I
same.
I feel you.
That's real.
Wow, that was a good one. I never thought of it like that. I just never knew what happened. But yeah, I agree. Gotta sit with that one.
Did I miss anybody's honorable mentions? I think I went through everybody's.
Can I add a newer
Yeah,
honorable mention?
yeah.
Go ahead, you might as well.
Okay, my new honorable mention
I'm weird.
is gonna be Megan.
How did I know you were going to say Megan?
Some Fever. I just love
I knew you
it.
were going to say.
love
I knew you were going to say
it.
Megan. I actually did
love
like
it.
Fever. I'm not even going
I
to. I did
love
like Fever. Yeah,
It's
that's
her
one that had to.
best album.
That had to run it up freestyle, right? Running up, I think it was called. I forgot what the joint's called.
I don't think so.
You said Fever, right?
Yeah.
That's like the orange, like orange
Yeah.
and yellow.
Do it
Yeah,
have
yeah,
Run It
yeah,
Up on there?
yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think that was like the last track.
Who's
So I
that
think it
shit?
is at. Yeah, you're right. It is at the end. You're right. I told you I don't know names. I just love albums. But yeah, I do love that album. I think that it was a great album. I thought that it was. What you say? Shut the fuck up! Like I just love it.
I love that alley, bro.
Oh, that's so good.
Shout out to Logic.
Listen, there's nothing special about Megan. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Megan is very consistent at being Megan. The style. Her music is all the same. I'm gonna be real as a fan. Her music sounds all the same. It's the same thing all the time. However, it's a lane that she chose, like the Migos.
She stuck with it.
And she stuck with that shit, and it works for her. And I just love it. And for her to like pop out, and she's I love her lyrics. Like, and maybe it may not be much, but whatever. I don't give a fuck. I love it. I just love her. I love that she just gets me hype. She makes me want to dance. She makes me want to shake my ass. She makes me feel powerful and strong. She makes me like and that album makes me feel like that. Like, it makes me want to have fun with my girls. It made me want to rob a nigga. It made me want to get hyped. It made me want to dance. Like, it just makes me want to do so much. It makes me
want to shit. What's the song?
Be a bad bitch. Like, I just love it. I love that album. That's my honorable mention of new albums.
I love hearing that. I love hearing that because like all my beats, like I told you before, I'm making all these beats like based off of that album. Actually, to be honest,
love
because when I've seen the way women react to it, including my wife, I was just like, okay. Yeah, there's something here. You know what I mean? Like you said, like that's great to hear that.
Stomach says, "Put your hands at Come on, like I love her. I just love her. I don't want nobody to say nothing bad about Megan.
I love her.
She can do nothing wrong. I love her so much. Yeah.
I also agree with what you said about I like how honest you are about this shit. You're a fan, but you're also really honest. I really admire that. You even said like. She's, it's not the most special wordplay. She's very consistent. I totally agree. Yeah. And honestly, that's part of the reason why I shifted my whole brand because I could see all these other female rappers trying to copy her. That's part of the reason why I'm shifting my business because I see down the line there's going to be a million more Megan Thee Stallion wannabes.
A million.
That's why I sell my beats to. That's who I sell my beats to. That's my fan base. That's what I do. Like that's what I do.
And there's nothing wrong with that because for a million Megans, there's other people that I really like too. That's not like her at all. Like I love LaKaylee 47. I think she's a female artist. I think she's very underrated. She reminds me of Missy Elliott. So her music is mad fucking good. Like when I say she makes a good album from start to finish, LaKaylee doesn't have a bad album. It never misses. She's one of my favorite new school rappers. And I think she's like one of the best female rappers out here. She's really good. She can sing too. She's like different. She's not like she's not talking about her ass all the time, but she can give you an ass beat. Like, you feel me? She could shoot you if she want. Like, it's everything. Like she makes you like, it's everything. I love it. She's so good. She's very underrated.
I like the recent album. The one with LL Cool J and all the other.
Yes, right. Ain't it a good album?
I listened to the whole thing because, like, immediately, because I follow all the female rap playlists, I was like, "Oh, what's this right here?"
It's called Shape Up. Yeah.
And I was like really surprised by the depth and variety. She's like singing and all this shit, and it was also cool. She doesn't like show her face and shit.
No.
A part of me appreciates that because I mean, of course, a lot of the female rappers. I mean, it's just over-sexualized. Everything is so over-sexualized.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, she's trying to like hide that and then just speak through the music. I like that.
She gives me Missy vibes. What?
She's trying to pull that MF
cool jewelry. I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna be worthy. Oh, yo, that's my shit. Yo, yeah, that's such a good album. I love that. It's downloaded. It's one of my favorite albums of this year. for sure.
But I gotta listen to that.
It's good. It's good. She's so good. I'm sorry. That was my
She's
hype.
from Brooklyn too.
Huh?
She's from Brooklyn too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
She's
good.
real good. She's so good. Love her. Okay, that's all. I'm done. I just be so hyped. When I really do love somebody, I really do like go in.
Yes, you should.
That's when I really be like.
That's what makes the podcast fun.
Exactly.
That's what makes it. That's why we run overtime every single time. Like,
My bad, y'all.
I know you good.
That's good. No, it's good. I'm saying that's good.
Yeah,
I love being here. This is a nice place.
We're happy to have you.
We're happy to have you. Absolutely.
Hopefully, we have it on. We can be in your podcast when you bring that joint.
You
back
know
out.
what? Maybe y'all schedules is funky, but maybe I'll bring it back for y'all.
Hey.
What? Our schedule?
Yeah, because y'all schedules don't align with my schedule.
But you're on the show multiple times. What do you mean?
I'm dead.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but the times that I really want to record, y'all don't be available for. That's what I'm saying.
You trying to do it early or late?
She never asked me.
Yeah, I be trying to do something like earlier in the day.
7.
Y'all trying to
6?
record? Yeah, like 7.
7 a.m.?
No,
No,
in the afternoon, evening. In the evening. You said 7 a.m. No, that's crazy.
No.
Ain't nobody watching that shit.
Right, no bullshit. I wouldn't even watch.
But
that
like
shit.
6 or 7, y'all not ready around that time.
Nah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You're right.
And I don't know who will be like people gonna watch something that late on YouTube.
You'd be surprised.
You right.
Yeah, I would really recommend getting on YouTube. I know it's a lot of effort. Trust me, I get that. But
You said you don't recommend, or you
Yeah,
do?
we do.
no, I do. Like I was
Oh.
saying, I really would recommend it though because there's such a big audience out there. Like I was dragging my feet to get on YouTube because I was like, oh, it's just another fucking thing I have to do. I just want to make
Yeah, that's how I'm
music. I
feeling.
don't want to do all this shit. But then I thought about it and I was like, I know all these people are making great money off of YouTube. I know it's a way to network with industry producers. I know it's just an avenue to the world. There's just so many people on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you to like, if you need any help, let me know. Like, 'cause
I do actually, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I don't know. I'll work on. I don't know. I'll come up with something this weekend to figure it out what I want to do, and then I'll present it to you.
All right, cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and wrap this joint up. Any closing remarks? Hey, Go ahead.
No, just thanks for having me. This was awesome. I loved it here. Sorry I was late and blow drying hair, but my bad. I won't be like this again. I won't. I promise. I definitely will.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know about that.
You want to place a bet on that?
I'm not putting my money on that. Nope.
Right.
Put it on it, because I promise I'm gonna be on my shit.
But let them know where to follow you real quick.
Okay, so this is your girl, Miss JLH. You can follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at WeDrinkWine_. You can also follow me on IG and Twitter at Miss JLH_. And then last but not least, you can go to my website at We Don't Sip Tea, We Drink Wine. And you can get all my shit there. You can get my book. You can listen to my podcast. You can look at my beautiful pictures. And you can just read my shit. I be writing stuff or whatever. Be having thoughts or whatever. And, you can read it.
I'm weak.
Every time you do your intro, I want you to do mine. Like, it's like the way she does it. Like, I'm just not like that.
So
I'm good though. But yes, my name is Nick Neighbors. I'm a hip hop producer. You can find my beats online. Follow me on IG at Nick Neighbors PROD. There's a link right there to my beat store. I'm also on YouTube, Nick Neighbors, and my beatstars.com. You can find me on there too. That's my beat store.
Bet. Last but not least, You can follow me on Twitter, Hip Hop Vibes, hip_hop_vibes. You can follow me on IG and on TikTok, A-Tone Productions, A_tone_productions. You can follow our YouTube page for the podcast, Hip Hop Vibes, the podcast. You gotta type it in just like that, as you see it on the screen. Just like that. Follow me on Twitch, where we're live streaming as well. War Machine 1919. What else? What am I missing?
He said what else?
Oh, and you can listen to my radio show, which I do every Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, radiofairfax.org. Hip Hop Vibes Radio. And yeah, that's a lot.
It do be.
You're right. I bet I'm A. But yeah, I'm your boy AJ.
Boy Nick.
Miss JLH. That way. And this is Hip Hop Vibes Podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. Later.
Peace.